Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Now, I think that this episode had the potential to be super low energy because you were out last night for a birthday. I was out last night for a wedding. We've had to wake up early and do it early in the morning. But I just want everyone to know that's not why it's low energy. It's low energy because we just didn't want to have to get up early and record an episode because you got home early and I got home relatively early. Yeah, I just don't want people to mistake our wild party life, which is obviously a real thing.
Cambo, would you like me to maybe perk you up a bit?
Oh, please.
With what I think is and generally when I come up with an idea, I like to think that it's our idea, just just naturally. Let's say our $1 billion idea.
Okay.
Billion with a B, Cambo.
I'm interested.
So, just sit down for this one.
Okay.
There is one minor problem.
Yeah.
With the idea. One minor problem. But you might not be able to, work out what that is. So if you can't work out what the one minor problem is, then
we're golden.
We're good.
Yeah.
We'll start looking for investors. My brother, currently living in Portugal, he came to Australia a little while ago and then went back again. And he's a musician, so he has a lot of equipment here in Australia and then, wanted to get some back to Portugal for him. So he's kind of done a couple of things. Once, previously, he's got my parents to send him some equipment from Australia to Portugal. It ended up costing $1,000. And that was partly because, one, the initial cost of posting it, that was an expense. But what really gets you is you have to pay customs in Australia and then you have to pay customs in Portugal. And it's a few $100s. It's not cheap. And he said the equipment that he sent probably cost maybe $1,500 altogether. And he paid $1,000 just to get that stuff. So it's really kind of messed up if you ever want anything. So when he came to Australia, he grabbed a few extra things that he had in storage and brought it with him. He's like, this is perfect because I don't have to pay any money. Maybe a little bit extra on the plane, maybe if you're going over your luggage limit or something. Yeah, but totally reasonable amount, not hundreds of dollars. So then I was like, oh my God, brilliant idea. It's like Uber. Start an app like Uber where people are already flying to the country that you need to go. You want the stuff to go to. And those people could get a few $100 because if you're saving you're saving $700, you pay this person $300, they take it with them. That's good money for that person. And you're saving heaps of money. And then it's just everybody's delivering other people's stuff. It'll free up the postal system, Cambo. People are getting delays with their packages and whatnot. Well, I've freed it up by Ubering the delivery postal service.
Yeah. So
overseas.
Okay, I love the idea.
Yep.
I'll now apply my marketing brain to it.
Okay.
I'm thinking you call it SMGL, smuggle.
Oh,
and
that's good.
You open up smuggle.
Yeah.
And you list the item you need smuggled and where. And then the smugglers will... It's almost like Airtasker, I guess. They'll be like, look, I'm going there on this date and I can do it for this price.
Yeah. I think that's the way it's did. I don't see any problems with it, personally. I think it's a pretty flawless system. I should say there is a little tick box when you, just to cover any bases, little tick box when you are you putting in the request to have your stuff taken from one country to the other. You tick a box that says, I definitely haven't lined this item with drugs. And
Look,
and that clears everything up.
Australians will understand this. Our international listeners maybe not so much. But any Australian would be wary of someone saying, I just need this boogie board bag brought to Bali, please.
Yeah. It's going to be totally fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But see, here's the thing, because if somebody's ticked the box at the end, it means there's definitely no drugs in that item. So,
and I would say I'm vibing that legally you're covered.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting from this tick box.
Yeah. It would be funny, though, if I should allow it just for kicks. That you can still process the order without ticking the box.
Right.
So somebody gets the request and they're like, oh, they haven't ticked the box. Or did they just accidentally not tick the box?
I'm going to assume
they are offering $10,000 for me to take this. So
I'm going to assume they're a bit clumsy with technology on their end, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, $1 billion idea at Cambo.
Yeah. With a B.
I've already, with a B. I've already got some people invested. I think they were part of a group. I don't know. I've never heard of them before. Like the cartel or something was like they were really interested to invest in the idea.
I think they're like a hedge fund.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because they seem to be spending a lot of money, like a hedge fund would.
Yeah.
What's the cartel and hedge fund? What's the bloody different, Nelson? Am I right? I hate to get political, but
yeah.
Oh, the murders. Oh, it was the murders is the difference.
Oh, that's what. Yeah. More murders in hedge funds.
Oh, we've done them again.
Yeah, we got him. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. I mean, should we? We're going to be billionaires in a matter of days. Like, does it even matter about the rest of this podcast?
And if we get to the Reddit content, it's not going to be better, is it? It's just going to be different.
It's just going to be different.
Yeah.
All right, I suppose. Because of these chimps. All right. This first Reddit on Reddit was somewhere. I can't remember where it was. It's on a subreddit of sorts. I actually created these notes a little while ago, so this is kind of a surprise for me, being like, oh, what's this post about? I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a time that we were going to record this, like, be super organized and record it way in advance. And then we got drunk. Yeah,
we got drunk. And now we're recording it the day before.
Yeah.
Remotely, because there's no other time otherwise. Okay, this was by Demoroy. ChatGPT or similar AI as a confidant for teenagers. Okay?
Yep.
While I was helping my youngest daughter this morning doing her homework, I let my oldest daughter, young teenager, use my computer to discuss with ChatGPT. I like that he said young teenager and hasn't put my male.
I was legitimately
46.
about to say I don't know the gender and age, so I cannot connect to this story.
Yeah. Anyway, use my computer to discuss with ChatGPT. I had a look at the transcript after, and I was very surprised that after a few minutes, she started talking to ChatGPT about her problems, with her parents mostly, and also a little bit with her friends. And she continued chatting for 30 minutes or so. They seemed to have a real conversation, much more interactive than reading advice on the internet. And the advice given, while not very original, was of very decent quality and quite fine-tuned to her situation. She was completely hooked. I believe teenagers ideally need an adult confidant who is neither a parent nor a teacher to get advice on life. Typically, a grandfather or uncle/aunt can play this role, and also sport coaches. In the Catholic Church, confession can also sometimes play. That's a slippery slope.
I would also say sports coaches is
right on the edge. That if we're going in order of most slippery to least slippery, we start with the Catholic Church, then we go down to sports coach, and then aunt and uncle. It is important, in my opinion, to have this adult trusted voice in complement to the discussion with peer teenagers who often do not have the suitable experience to answer questions. Now, as such, adult role models are not always available, and some adults may also set up traps to teenagers acting as a confidant. I feel ChatGPT or comparable AIs could fill an important role in helping teenagers getting adult advice from a third source. I can even imagine turning an AI like ChatGPT specifically for this purpose. I would love to know your thoughts.
Nelson, I've got a second billion-dollar idea.
Oh my God, Gambo! At a certain point, you've earned too much money.
Yeah, and well, I that's not true for us, obviously.
Yeah, I mean some people, not us.
Not us. What we do,
infinite money,
is we set up an online. Do you remember BetterHelp, the company that was like you need someone to talk to, you call BetterHelp. Anyway, it turns out that they didn't really have so much of the training that people needed. And some argued that just the service of being able to talk to someone was helpful or whatever. But we set up a BetterHelp style system where people can go and chat about their problems. But we've just reskinned ChatGPT. We're just using the bot into the chat. And then here's the thing. We say to ChatGPT, we need you to code a website for us. It looks like a psychologist or just at least someone like a counselor or someone to talk to in a chat window, but I want you to be the chat window for them. Then it builds the website for us.
Oh my God, we don't even have to build the technology. This is brilliant. Okay, let's do that one first, because that feels like we don't need investment. Actually, the first one, we could just get ChatGPT to program the app as well.
Yeah, it's true.
This is good.
Could we, as like a calling card of our crime, Nelson, do we call it like good personal talks? Also, anyway, it's GPT is the initials of our system.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Or GP as in general practitioner.
Oh yeah, yeah. GP talks.
Yeah, exactly. No one will see that. Except obviously we won't pay for the premium version of ChatGPT, so occasionally there'll be just a lot of buffering for people as they're trying to get advice.
is what we do a subscription service, in which case we'll make the subscription the same as ChatGPT subscription. And as soon as one person signs up, it's paid for itself. And as soon as two people sign up, we're making money.
Oh, now we're rolling in the cash. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. What do you think of just in general of this idea? Like, do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think, I don't know.
I think it's really interesting, erring on the side of be careful. Only because I've used it a lot for my work, and there has been times where I'm like, everything was going great, and I was really enjoying the output it was giving me, and suddenly it's giving me something that I know to be wrong, and now I need to go back and check everything else it's given me, because maybe it was wrong and I just didn't recognize it.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely some things that are wrong. Well, that's why I'm actually really interested to... I don't really know how you test this. Do you just like make fake problems and ask ChatGPT its advice? Because I wonder if you can... Like, what is bad advice from a AI chatbot versus bad advice from a confidant like this... person is implied that's like either a teacher, another parent or whatever, because I would almost argue that aside from perhaps understanding nuance, ChatGPT is probably better at pulling information that is more like generally accurate than probably just somebody with their own opinions and whatever, about problems. Like, because it's pulling from a bigger source, it almost might have a better form of truth in the terms of advice. Like, I can't imagine giving it personal advice where it's just flat out wrong.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like, oh, Your friend called you a name. Here's how you get revenge on social media. Trust me, I'm ChatGPT. I've seen all revenge, and this is the best type.
Here's the thing is I think it also would come down to the person, because essentially it would be like talking to like a Vulcan from Star Trek, right? They take all the emotion out of it, and it's just pure information and logic that it's providing you. But I think there are probably people that need a longer road to that information. So say they're going like, I have problems in my relationship, here's the thing. It could be like, oh, the logical thing is to end that relationship. But there are people that would probably need a bit longer to get there and don't need the cold hard. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I mean, again, I'm just assuming, but I would assume that it wouldn't ever give that type of advice.
Should we see if we can get it to?
Because, maybe. Because I'm sure there's like some things, okay, that would be like, let's say a super obvious example, like you're being abused either physically or mentally by a partner, and you told that to ChatGPT. I imagine at a certain point, it's like, this is illegal, and like you should search for, get legal help kind of thing. I would hope, even before it said end the relationship or something, because I think that's, I don't know. I'm just making a lot of assumptions here, but I don't feel like it will ever give you this definitive of like, yes, you should end that relationship. It gives you like just the way that it's always spoken to me in my problems generally. Like, I don't know how to program this. It gives you like options and suggestions, and it's not really like telling you you should do this thing, but this is a possibility. And so. There would be just like a lot of nuance to it. But also, the thing that caught me, I think, the most was that I do totally agree with this person in saying that I feel like it can be sometimes just really hard for people to find somebody to talk to. Like young kids in particular, who might be totally embarrassed by their problems or whatever, their issues. They don't trust anyone else to talk to about it. I can see this as being that real, that source that they can go to and feel comfortable with it. So I think that's a really interesting, element of getting teenagers to chat with ChatGPT, because maybe in 90% of cases, you don't need nuance for kids with, playground issues kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they just need somebody there to give them generic advice, but use the names that they give them to make it a little bit more personal and whatnot.
And here's the thing, Nelson. Kids are always texting anyway. They may as well be texting ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Oh, okay. New app idea.
Okay.
As a parent, you secretly install an app on your child's phone, and it sends all their messages to ChatGPT that then works out what you as a parent should say to your child based on the issues they've been telling, like their friends and stuff, texting their friends and stuff. And you can sort of subtly come in, pretend like you're really wise and knowledgeable, and you kind of subtly give them advice from afar.
Okay, so you're installing some kind of spyware on your kid's phone.
Well,
but to be clear, the messages still get to their friends? They just go via ChatGPT?
Yeah, they go via ChatGPT.
Okay. So ChatGPT logs all of your child's messages, gives you a summary each day of the key problems, and then ideas.
And look, if you want to keep the privacy there, it doesn't specifically give you a summary. It just tells you the type of advice that you should be giving your child as a result of the message that they've sent.
Okay.
So maybe your child's like, hey, let's do all the drugs with their friend. And then ChatGPT the next day says, hey, maybe tell your child drugs are bad.
Right. But and you think that will still get around the privacy of you not knowing what your kids are texting?
It's subtle, Cameron. It could be anything. They could be talking just like generally about addiction. You don't know, not specifically. ChatGPT knows though. Alright, Cameron, let's move on into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit was by Quillen D. What is the most fun word to say? Do you have any words?
So there was a poll in, I think, the UK in the early 2000s about what word people love the most. And I believe it was a combination of like, what's a word you love the meaning of, but is also like just fun to say. And the word that won that poll was serendipity.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm not going to lie. The dippity bit is quite fun to say.
Dippity is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun to say.
Here's one that I like. Ipso facto.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
ipso facto is good.
Word.
Yep. There is a this isn't necessarily a word but a name, but there's an actor at the moment starting to break out in some bigger roles, but his name is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. It's absolute blast to say.
So good.
Because it starts with Yahya, which is such fun.
Yahya is just fun. It's like yo-yo.
But it also sounds like you're
word.
wrapping someone up. It's like, Abdul-Mateen II, all right?
Yeah, and if it was just Abdul-Mateen, no good.
No.
You need the second adds to it as well.
Yeah.
Like, there was another one.
Because that means Yahya Abdul-Mateen has been like, this has been a blast. Let's do it again.
Okay. I'm going to read some.
Okay.
From people in the chat. This first one by Barrelman60. As someone currently taking French, I feel like that's cheating. Pamplemousse. No, why would anybody know how to pronounce that? Okay. Here's another one. This by I don't know whatever. Discombobulated.
Oh, discombobulated. That's pretty good.
Discombobulated. If you really let your cheeks relax on the bub, it feels even better. Discombobulated.
The bob is the highlight of that word because you're right. Like you do have to do a puffy little bub with your mouth, which is fun.
Yeah. How about this one for a little bub? This one was by Bunny with Pancake. Indubitably. You can really relax your cheeks on that one too.
Yeah.
Indubitably. That's the secret, I think. Indubitably. Yeah. Oh, actually, I really like this word. It's this one was by Hoy29. Onomatopoeia.
Right. Onomatopoeia. Yeah. Is that fun to say?
Onomatopoeia.
It is because it's got the short burst, doesn't it? Onomatopoeia. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like good syllables.
Yeah.
I think. And I like that is. I like that there is a word for words sounding like how they are spelt.
Yeah.
To me, I love the definition as well because it's just such a weird thing to be like there is not technically a word for what's the right phrasing, a group of you're like aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
There's no like word for saying both of those. I've started using same with niece and nephew. I've started using neplings, but I think that that's technically not correct. I just think that I read that once and I was like, that's brilliant. That's a good way to do it. So we don't have words for things that I feel like we would potentially use every day, but we've got a different definition that describes words that sound the way
like the sounds
spelled.
they're representing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why did somebody feel as though they needed to come up with a definition for that specific thing? Seems weird. Anyway, Bollocks, as by Jack Black Ballsack. Oh, that's a fun one to say. Jack Black Ballsack.
Bollocks.
Bollocks.
You need to say it in the right way, which is kind of aggressive. Like, bollocks.
That's bollocks. You know what? No, I've got it again. You can relax your cheeks again.
Bollocks.
Bollocks. I think that's the secret. Nobody's figured it out. I've got it.
Is words that allow you to go blub in some way?
Blub, yeah. Well, this one doesn't cut the mustard. This is by Sacrange Kerfuffle. It is kind of a bit of a fun word too.
They're the foot in fuffle you do a bit. Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle. I was trying to relax my cheeks. Kerfuffle. It doesn't work as well.
No, it doesn't work as well. It's no discombobulated.
Okay, I'm going to do two more. Wide Dare 780 said, Baba Ganoush. Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
I quite like that one.
Yeah, Baba Ganoush is great.
And then Anoni Miss has facetious.
No, that's too pretentious for me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's like. Yeah, I know.
If someone says to me the word
facetious,
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Using your $5 words, get out of here, mate.
Yeah, that's like if somebody was like, my favorite word is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
I fully expected someone to have said anti-disestablishmentarianism to be like, oh no, clever. You know, that's the longest word there is.
Oh, it's so fun to say. Shut up.
To which I would have said, you're so fucking facetious.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Someone's done it. It's a different word. I think it's that town maybe in Wales or something.
Oh, yeah. That ends in
maybe. Yes. Yeah. Now say the full thing, Camber.
I do know a Welsh woman that can pronounce it.
Let me pronounce it for you.
Okay.
Good. I'll just see. Lenfer Pulgwin Punguin Lagogari Shurnderabulan Tessilagogogogog. Call me Welsh, Camber. I pronounced that perfectly. Okay, let's.
So I just want someone to make a T-shirt that has a picture of you. It says "Call me Welsh Cambo."
Okay, let's get into Today I Advise. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. Okay, this advice is by Throra Dragonol. Dragonol. Go. I think my original post was removed because I cannot find it. That's pretty fun. Oh, wait, no, I haven't read the heading. Okay. Cambo, make sure to write down these ages.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
19 female.
19 female, got it, yep.
Boyfriends, 19 male.
Oh, good, yeah, this is good to know.
Mum, 50 female.
Oh, okay. It's getting juicy.
Came into my work today, and I don't know how to tell him. My boyfriend's mum came into work today, and I don't know how to tell him. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. 19 female. No. Just in case
they've done it again in the body. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. Have been dating my boyfriend. What is he, Gibbo?
19 male.
Okay, good. For a year and a half. Things have been really good, and he is my best friend. I also get along really well with his family, as he does mine. I go to a cosmetology school currently, and I hope to become a hairstylist in the future. I've done my family's hair as well as my boyfriend's family for free when I am free. For example, I did my boyfriend's little sister's hair for her junior prom and have done his mum's twice for weddings. I do not charge them because I am not on the clock and because I don't want to accept their money when I offered to help in the first place. On Saturday, I had a woman come into my school/salon and ask for me to do her hair. For some info, students at my school are allowed to do people's hair / people can come into the salon and get their hair done by students. The prices are a lot lower. Think instead of a $50 treatment, it would only be like $14. But obviously are done by newer, less experienced stylists. We do get a lot of customers. Most of my friends come in and sometimes even my boyfriend. So anyways, the lady comes in and asks for me. I wasn't working on anyone, so I gladly helped her out. We ended up doing a full scalp treatment plus a cut and blowout plus styling. For salons in my area, this would be anywhere between $60 to $80. At the place I work, this was only $20. When she was all finished, I brought her to the front and gave her the total. She looked at me and said, "Aren't you N's girlfriend?" She's using N for her boyfriend's name. I didn't know who this woman was, but I said, "Oh, yes, I am." She then said, N's mum's name said you work here and you don't charge family members. I didn't bring any money. Again, I have no idea who this woman is, and I have never said anything close to that. I told her that I am currently a student and do work here, but our school/company does charge. She was like, "No, I just spoke with her, and she says you do family and friends' hair for free." I told her that while I have done some family's hair as well as my boyfriend's family's hair for free, I have done it at their or my house when I'm off the clock. No matter what I told her, she would not listen, and my teacher/salon owner had to come forward and help the lady. She basically told my manager that I said I have a family discount, and now I'm making her pay, even though I told her she didn't have to. Thankfully, my manager heard our entire conversation before she came over and basically told her that's not true. The woman did have money and threw a $20 bill on the counter before she walked out. I apologized to my teacher, but she told me not to worry. About an hour later, my boyfriend's mum shows up.
50 female, Nelson.
50 female. She hasn't reiterated here. The age could have changed, Canberra. We don't know. I was working the counter at this time, so I was free to talk to her. I was about to tell her about the woman from earlier, but she kind of started talking right away. She said, not even a hype of land, "My friend just told me what happened. I'm not sure what to tell her. I told her I wasn't sure what she meant and told her what happened. Apparently she knew what happened and everything that lady told me was true." To summarize, my boyfriend's mum was talking to her friend, the lady, about where to get her hair done. She told her friend about me and how I do hair at a salon for a cheap price. She then told her friend to tell me that she knows my boyfriend's family and that I wouldn't charge her. I said to her that I have no control over prices and that I have never done work for free. She told me that I do her and her daughter's hair all the time for free and that she assumed it'd be nice enough to lend a hand to other people they're close with. I told her I don't know why she would assume that, as this is my job and I'm still in school. I also told her that the times I've done her and her daughter's hair, I've done it at their houses and I wasn't currently at school. She ended the conversation by saying that I'm just a student and she doesn't understand why I would still need to get paid when I still have a lot to work on. She said, "N says a lot of sweet things about you and I was really looking forward to other people meeting you. I now have to go around telling my friends that you are actually sweet and we do actually like you. But it's fine, I guess. I'll see you soon." And then she left. The entire time she was very passive-aggressive and very fake, nice/understanding. I'm honestly at a loss for words right now. Throughout my entire time dating N, I've never once gotten the impression that she didn't like me, and she's never acted like this to me before. I'm supposed to have dinner with him and his family on Wednesday, but I'm not sure I want to go anymore. I don't really want to see her, and I feel a bit awkward and uncomfortable. N has been at a tournament all weekend, so I've gotten the chance to tell him what happened. I don't know how to tell him or how he's going to react. I don't know how to go about this, or if I am overreacting. How do I bring it up to him? Oh boy.
I would present him with a bill for all of his haircuts and his family haircuts. Yeah. He'd be like, "You can ask your mum why I'm now doing this."
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that here's the thing. If I was ChatGPT, I'd say, leave your boyfriend.
For me.
For me.
I've recently watched the movie Her. I understand that computer programs can have relationships with humans.
Yeah. No, this just made me think of, like, have you ever experienced from perhaps other mothers or fathers, I suppose, like this passive aggressive, like, oh, but I thought that you would do this favor for me, even though I didn't really ask ever, and go past you, because I feel like.
I don't think so. Not passive aggressive. The version of this, I guess, I experience, which is, I would say not as, what's the word? Like, not as entitled, but Stacey's family, I think, thinks I'm some kind of IT consultant. Yeah. Siren one time, her dad was like, "How do I get this document onto my Samsung tablet?"
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know. I don't know the Samsung tablet. He's like, yeah, but you know this stuff. You can get the file onto the Samsung tablet.
Yeah. Then the next thing is for them to like outsource you to their friends and family.
Yeah, that's true.
Cameron knows this stuff.
That would be the equivalent, wouldn't it? Is like I get a call from one of their mates being like, "I've heard that you're really good with Samsung tablets." So yeah, that's true. And then a different version of this, but I think in a similar vein, is I used to work for a company that had a chain of like holiday parks. And to be clear, I just did digital marketing, like Google ranking stuff, like inconsequential to the day-to-day running of a park. But Stacey's family, they own her parents own like a caravan, and they go around Australia a lot. So they end up staying in a lot of these parks for the company I worked for.
Yeah.
But apparently what what her dad did a few times is, like, as they're checking in, they were like, "Oh, we know Michael Campbell. Do you know Michael Campbell?" And they're like,
so bad.
"No."
Does he literally work at this park?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, not at all.
I think he takes care of some of your Google listings. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Never heard of him. Oh, man. That's
Nor should they have, like.
Yeah, that's funny. I feel like one that we both got quite a lot previously was we worked at the cinemas.
Yeah.
And so then anybody you spoke to were like, "So can you get free tickets at the cinemas?" Yeah. To which I'd say, "Yes, I can get free tickets to the cinemas.
As many as I want, I can get." That's crazy.
Yeah. But now I just ask Stacey for all the free tickets because I don't work there anymore.
Yeah, or people would find out your work at the cinema and ask you either like a rundown of everything that's showing and what times.
Yeah.
Is a common one. They'd be like, what's out? Like, I want to go see a movie. Like, what can I see at like Saturday at like 5? You're
yes,
like,
actually.
I don't know. You need to check.
That one did come up all the time. And you're like, why would I know? Or they do the thing where it's they'd be like, "Oh, there's a movie coming out 3 months from now. What would the session times be?"
Yeah.
This is not how it works. I have no idea. My guess is as good as yours.
Yeah. Or the other one is they would complain about a movie they've recently seen.
Yeah.
As if you somehow made it.
Yeah. Like it has nothing to do with the cinema complex at all.
No.
Just like, this wasn't very good, was it? It's almost like they're implying you should charge people less for tickets for that movie. I think that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, Campbell, I've done something genius.
Okay.
While we were talking, I copied and pasted that entire thing and I put it into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, we were discussing could ChatGPT be a confidant for some young people. Okay. ChatGPT has said, "It sounds like you're in a difficult situation with your boyfriend's mother. It's understandable that you feel uncomfortable and unsure how to proceed. Here are some suggestions on how to handle this situation.
Yeah.
1. Be honest with your boyfriend. It's important to tell your boyfriend what happened, as it's better for him to hear it from you than from someone else. Explain the situation in a calm and rational manner and let him know how it made you feel. Ask him for his perspective and see if he can offer any advice on how to handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid advice.
That's pretty good.
Just from the get-go. That's pretty good. Number 2, consider talking to his mother. If you feel comfortable, you could also try talking to your boyfriend's mother and clearing up any misunderstandings. Explain that you are still a student and need to charge for your services, but you are happy to offer your family and friends a discount when you are not on the clock. You could also address any other concerns you may have and try to find a solution that works for everyone. There is only one solution.
Yeah.
And it is, you can't come to my place of work and get offer free things.
Yeah.
3, decide whether to go to dinner. If you still feel uncomfortable after talking to your boyfriend and his mother, you could consider skipping the dinner. However, it's important to communicate your reasons to your boyfriend and his family so they don't think you're just avoiding them. Number 4, focus on your own feelings. Regardless of what you decide to do, it's important to take care of yourself and prioritize your own feelings. Remember that you are not obligated to do anything that makes you uncomfortable, and it's okay to set boundaries and say no. Okay, I'm just going to say, so far, a 1 out of 1 test, I think this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it's super generic stuff, but if I was just to, if this girl, or if I had the same problem and I just went to another adult and asked them this, and by the way, I copied and pasted this in, and within seconds, it was printing out the response. Like, it read and understood the entire thing in seconds and was, like, giving this advice. If I was to explain that whole story to another parent or something, maybe they would give me similar advice, but they might not be able to give it one so specifically in, like, the... like, let's say deciding to go to dinner or something, it's like, well, after you've spoken to the boyfriend, after you spoke to the mum, then, if you still feel uncomfortable, you can skip the dinner, but make sure you communicate to them why, like, which I think is such an important detail. But something that a parent or something might not necessarily say, because they might say, oh, well, look, yeah, you can skip the dinner if you're uncomfortable. And they might not say anything more than that. But actually that little extra detail of being like, but communicate it. So it doesn't seem like you're purposefully avoiding them. Like, say it's because of that situation. And obviously that's hard. That's hard to do. That's hard to be like, I'm going to skip the dinner, but I want to let you know it's because I felt uncomfortable the other day. That's a super difficult conversation. And that the person might read this advice and not do it. But I feel like they need to hear that advice regardless, because then it's up to them to decide, even though this is, like, technically, the probably right thing to do. And not only that, but just, like, it's just so succinct. It's like, here are your 4 problems. Or here are the 4 points of this, of your issue, and here's how to potentially tackle each one of them. And you can go back and you can read over it and whatever. I think this is really, I'm coming around to it.
I given that one little test, I would try it again.
Yeah, it's good. All right, let's move on into shower. Oh my god, this episode gone for so long.
Yeah, it's really long.
Oh boy.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Supermat. Grass has an interesting existence where it is forever encouraged to grow, but when it grows too much, it gets cut down, and if it grows in the wrong place, it gets straight up murdered.
I mean, you can say the same with hair.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Grow here, but not up there is often what I say.
Like laser hair removal if it's growing in spots people don't like.
Yeah, that's true. As I'm getting older, I'm getting a lot more hairs coming out of my nose. It's
really?
upsetting. Yeah.
I haven't hit that stage yet, but I'm only slightly younger than you, so it's going to come to me soon.
You'll get there. I have to pluck them now.
Really?
It's so painful. Yeah, because sometimes they cut and they're like really long and like really obvious. Like, I gotta pluck these bad boys.
Yeah, and nothing makes your eyes water more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
plucking a nose hair.
I was like, should I get laser removal up there? But then I'm like, it seems like that might be important to have the hairs there. I don't know.
They probably do something.
Yeah, they probably did something.
You would think evolution had sorted that out. That they do something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chaffee21 said, for some reason, every toaster has a bread setting that will absolutely roast whatever bread is in it. I wrote this on Dan Cameron because I actually totally disagree. I've got a toaster right now where every single piece of bread you put in, you have to put it to the max setting, and then you kind of get like slightly warm toasted bread. Ever so like most people would go for a harder toast after the maximum setting. I was like, what? How can you get that so wrong with a toaster?
I think this person has never brought like a Kmart toaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Maybe they're living in their ivory tower where they get super powerful toasters all the time.
Yeah, I think that's literally it. I think it's like the wattage that they put in, and they're cheap toasters because it's got very few wattages.
Think of it like a wireless charger, right? Mm-hmm. You got Qi charging, but you've got different wattages, and if you get a cheap $5 wireless charger, it'll be a 5-watt charger, and it will charge your phone really slowly.
Yeah.
Or you can spend the like $80 or whatever Apple charges for their MagSafe wireless charger, and it charges your phone in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they've put better components in it. A toaster's the same. The little like heat element in the toaster is clearly different depending on the kind of toaster you buy, and the knob is just reflective of how much it's turned up.
I made this mistake one time for Christmas when I bought my mum a knockoff of a NutriBullet, and it was way less powerful. And like one of the key components in a NutriBullet is that it is really powerful, so it can process whatever you put in there. But this one I got my mum was just like, it would like struggle with like chopping up ice. You're like, I shouldn't have got this one. Anyway, it was the thought that counts.
Yeah, that's what we like to think.
That's what my mum kept telling me as she was crying. All right, let's move on to Podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves.
It's my week this week. And this one was actually given to me by Stacey, so I thank her for that. She got this from the Pulp Kitchen podcast, so it's an actual podnapping.
Whoa.
I can't say I've ever listened to
rare.
that podcast, but she did this. So what this is I've got a list of movie titles here. Mm-hmm. But what I'm going to say to you is actually the exact opposite of the movie title. And based on what the exact opposite of the movie title is, you need to tell me what movie I'm talking about.
Okay.
So, sounds complicated, in practice very simple. For example, if I said this movie is Nothing, Nowhere at Different Times.
Okay. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Correct.
Wait,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I got that wrong.
It sounds like a complicated thing, but it's actually quite simple.
Okay.
Mother of the Groom.
Father of the Bride.
Correct.
10 points.
Recently Oscar nominated. Men Listening.
Ladies talking. Women talking.
Yeah, women talking.
Women talking. Yeah.
Because, Nelson.
Nobody saw that movie, Campbell. I don't know why.
Here's the thing, though, Nelson. Women, they bloody love to talk. Am I right? What's the difference? By the way, some of these are directly from the Pulp Kitchen podcast. Some of these Stacey's made up.
Okay.
Hand Tight.
Footloose.
Footloose, yay.
Yeah, that's good.
The Queen of Tragedy.
Okay, so the King of tragedy. Oh, King? I can't even think of a title.
Slightly older
Oh,
film.
The King's Speech. No, okay.
No. From the 80s, I believe, this film.
From the 80s. Oh, my God. What's the opposite to tragedy? Like triumph or...
If you're going to watch a play in a theatre, what
Yeah.
would you say is the opposite genre to tragedy?
I don't know. Tragedy or...
So tragedy is what? Dark,
Triumph?
depressing, sad.
Yes.
So what genre would be the opposite to that?
The King's Happy. Oh my God. Comedy?
Yes,
something?
it is The King of Comedy, which is a Martin
The
Scorsese
King
film.
of Comedy. What? Oh my God. Okay, I've never heard of that film. I think that would help if I had heard of that film.
It's quite famous. More recently,
Not to me, Candy.
and more famously, the plot of the movie Joker is essentially a rip-off of The King of Comedy.
Oh, okay.
It's about a stand-up comedian who goes crazy and takes a man hostage. Played by Robert De Niro. Black women can sit.
White men can jump.
Yes,
Can't
correct.
jump.
Can't
jump. Yep.
I have some questions about this one. White Falcon up.
Black Hawk down.
Yes. My question is a falcon
Is
the
the
opposite of a hawk?
yeah. Definitely. Yes, definitely it is.
Yeah.
I would say it would be like a mouse. Like, what's the prey to her? You know.
Now this next one, it took me a minute, and then when I realized that, I felt silly. The daddy leaves.
The mummy comes. Is that the mummy returns?
Yay! That's it. Yeah, took me a sec to get that as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Mr. Believe Water.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Correct.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
The Light Dawn.
The dark dusk. Okay, I'm arguing that dawn and dusk are opposite. just by
Okay.
the way.
I maybe say the light day.
The Dark Knight
Correct.
rises. No.
No, just the Dark Knight. The hindrance.
The hindrance. What's the opposite to hindrance? You like let someone.
Well, if you hinder someone, what are you doing?
You're like preventing them from
Yeah.
doing
So
something.
What would be the opposite of that?
Encouragement. The oh man.
You can pass if you want. You lose all of your points though if you pass.
Oh no. I feel like I should be able to get this one too. The hindrance.
I feel like you probably
The Divergent.
worked at the movies when this was at. No, it's not The Divergent.
Okay. I worked at the.
I think so. It seems about the era that you worked at the movies.
The Happening.
No.
Okay.
I'm afraid you're going to have to lose all of your points.
I'm stretching. I'm stretching here.
It is the movie The Help.
The help. Yeah, hindrance. Help.
I think that works.
Yeah. Yeah. But then maybe hinder. I feel like hindrance. The hinder? No, maybe not.
Yeah. For time, I'm going to do this one as the last one, even though there's a few more. Big Men.
Well, Little Women.
Little Women, he's done it.
Yeah, it's good.
That's it.
Oh, that was it. That was good. Oh, cool. I liked that one. That was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks,
Except for the help one. That sucked.
And the fact you'd never heard of the King of Comedy.
Yeah, that one was bullshit. Yeah. Only movies that I know and can get can borrow the ones that I want. That's the type of trivia I like as well, where I know the answers. Do you want to do an AMA or hey?
I think we should maybe save them for next week. We're running quite long.
Okay. Yeah, and if we don't get them till next week, we'll save them till the week after, and so on and so forth until they are read.
Or this podcast shut down.
Or hopefully this podcast shuts down. All right. That's it. Thank you for writing in, the people that did write in. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com. You can also reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and not Twitter. You know what? Last week I think we mentioned we never used Twitter.
Yeah.
It's there. It still exists. I think it auto posts our episodes.
Yeah.
And
don't hit us up.
That's all it's there for. We won't respond.
No.
But you can reach us on. I should put in the Discord. On Facebook. I still kind of check Facebook, Discord, and our subreddit.
Yeah.
Oh, but then if I say they're all READIT podcast, but that's not true for the Discord. Ugh, boy.
Anyway, Discord is our most active place. So
what a
go
nightmare
join us on
this
Discord.
is. It's in the show notes. Link is in the show notes. Rate the show and subscribe to it if you haven't already. And that's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.